Quarantiners, this is our celebratory episode 10.
Episode 10, double digits, baby.
Double digits.
We're still alive. We're still alive.
Still kicking.
And
right.
We got some drinks going. We got a ton of stuff going. So I will let the rest of the people on the podcast introduce themselves and introduce their drink.
Awesome. Let me kick it off because I want to do something too. Before we introduce ourselves, or when you're introducing yourself, introduce who you are, just a brief background about what you do, and then your favorite drink. And we'll go around and give everybody a little bit of an intro. We haven't done that yet on the podcast. I just realized that today when I was running. I was like, nobody really knows about us unless they know about us. But for all the people tuning in, this is, as Darko said, episode 10. My name is Ben Patton, and I am a brand consultant for a company here in Matthews, and we work with life science companies on the branding. That's basically it. My favorite drink, if I was to narrow it down to wine, it would probably be a Chili Giolo, which is an Italian wine. Not real popular. It's very rare in the U.S. And
you probably have never heard of it. It sounds pretty fancy.
You probably have never heard of it. I never heard of it either until I went to Italy, and then I found out about it, and it was amazing. But if it's like hard drink, a Vieux Carré, and we can dive into that detail here in a second. But Matt, it's up to you, dude. Introduce yourself.
All right, man. My name is Matthew Powell. I'm an Air Force linguist. I have experience in all things military and NSA related. I've worked for the NSA long enough to know to not like it, and or at least have some kind of disdain. I mean, granted, I was maybe the only person of my rank to have tricked my way into having two windows where most people don't have any windows at the NSA, so that's pretty nice. And my drink of choice would be the old fashioned that is sitting right in front of you.
What a gentleman drink.
It is so choice.
So Draper.
So choice. B-Rad, man. What's up, Brian?
I'm Brian Powell. I'm Matt Powell's brother and Darko's brother-in-law. And I'm an entrepreneur, photographer, connoisseur of all things weird and amazing.
Beautiful couch, by the way.
Your couch is so good, dude.
Dude,
like,
is that a Chesterfield?
The Chesterfield. Oh, Chesterfield.
Oh, tufted Chesterfield, my favorite.
It's by Ethan Allen, and I think we only paid like $200 for it.
How? You'll have to get into how that happened, but tell us what you're drinking first off, too.
My drink of choice is hand-collected spring water, but tonight I'm drinking Walmart wine.
Sorry. You said Walmart wine?
Walmart tab. That's right.
Hey, baby.
Hey, man. Walmart has wine, too. Darko, the other host of the Quarantiners, the lead chief himself. Tell us about yourself, brother.
Yeah. So my name is Darko, and I'm originally from Montenegro. It's a small country in Europe, and I work here. I work for CERMO, which is a social network for doctors. It's a pretty cool place, but I don't have a drink right now, which is, I know it's lame, because I've decided not to eat or consume anything other than water after 8 p.m. Yeah.
Probably wise.
Yeah. So
Explains
it's 12
your lack of handles.
I mean, it's not even that. I just couldn't sleep that well. Even though alcohol helps me get very good sleep, but I wake up tired. So I'm gonna see if that's what it is. But yeah, I'm excited to have another episode of this very cool podcast.
Yes, and it's gonna unwind topic-wise. It's just gonna go everywhere. Remind us again, what does Montenegro stand for?
The Black Mountain.
That's fucking right. The Black Mountain, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
That is really
cool. Why?
Because I mean, literally. So that's a good question, actually. if you fly into Dubrovnik, which is Croatia, for example, and you decide to take a car ride, and you take car ride through Bosnia to get to Montenegro, and you see that mountains literally change the color. They change the color, like, and you see, I mean, the mountains in Montenegro literally seem dark. But it's also, there's like a whole history behind it. Montenegro changed its names, a lot of times, and it used to be called the Cleo and all these different names. I'm not gonna get deep into the history, but it's an interesting little country, definitely.
Very cool, man. Very cool. So we were talking about a few things here before we wanted to get everybody. It took 10 episodes to get in, to finally get in, to know who we were. That's who we are. And we're glad everybody else who is tuning in, if you're tuning in, welcome back. But let's talk about Matt's old fashioned or Manhattan.
Old fashioned. So earlier we were talking about the Manhattan. So Brian and I's uncle Tom, he was the first person to introduce me to the Manhattan drink, period. And the key to the drink, he told me, are these cherries that he gets. So most people think of like the maraschino cherry, those like bright red, kind of candied, kind of, I don't know, shitty tasting things. So he gets these things that are like black. I thought they were olives the first time I saw them. And they are they're still very sweet, but they're very subdued kind of. And he'll put a couple on like a little toothpick and throw them in the drink. But they add so much to the Manhattan. Yeah. Changed the whole drink for me, and actually got my wife to start drinking them, which is kind of a big deal.
And you mean the old fashioned?
No, the Manhattan.
Oh, Manhattan. Oh, okay, gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those drinks that it's kind of unpopular, and when you go somewhere and order one, they look at you like you're testing me.
You're testing me.
Because I am.
And then they come back with just like a glass of whiskey for you. And they're like, did I do well enough?
That's all admit. We do test people with fancy drink names. Interesting.
So
in
the
vermouth and a cherry.
Yes. So for the old fashioned right here, actually, I ran out of regular bitters. So I use these Woodford Reserve orange bitters, and it makes all the difference. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but I have like an entire orange kind of muddled up in this thing with a sphere ice cube.
Yeah.
And
nice.
So it'll stay stay cold. Dude, I try to treat myself.
Sphere ice cube. That's what makes you a pro, I think.
Like, I think that's few things.
That's what differentiates, men and boys when it comes to like the drinks and old fashioned. Or like how you drink
your cube.
I am not a
noob.
It
the geometry of ice cubes.
Geometry.
Brian
I am not
has fractal ice cubes.
He does.
Word.
They never stop being frozen.
That would be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So
that wouldn't be a fractal then.
Yeah. So have you guys heard of the Vieux Carré?
No, never.
Yeah, I want to introduce you to this drink because I learned about it when I was in Vegas, and I was on a trip.
That looks like an old fashioned to me.
Yeah. It is, right? And I asked the bartender, I go, hey, what's a drink that you love that barely anybody ever orders? And he looks at me and goes, Vieux Carré. And I was like, I don't even know what that means, but I like the fact that it's fun to say. So here's what's in it. Whiskey, cognac, vermouth, Benedictine, which I love Benedictine. That's such a good aperitif.
I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of it.
Benedictine?
Yeah.
Oh, have you ever had B&B?
No.
Dude, all right, so here's what you got to do. Next time you go to a liquor store, get B and B. And what you want to do is you want to heat it up, and then you want to put a napkin on the snifter, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Let it sit for a while. I think Darko, did I give this to you once?
I'm trying to remember. I think that
B&B stands for Benedictine and brandy, but it comes as an aperitif, which is something you drink after a meal.
I know that
Right.
Digest it.
Stefan told us about this stuff, right?
Dude, yeah. So when we were eating,
we need to have him on a podcast, though.
Again, shout out to Stefan, because
Yep.
Am I saying his name right? Stefan, right?
Yep.
All right, not Stefan or Kel, but Stefan, one of the guys at Sermo. Cool dude. I think this was like 6 years ago, probably. We were eating somewhere in South Park, and I was a client of Darko's, and Darko was a vendor of mine, and we worked together. That's another completely different story. But we all went out for like Christmas or some kind of holiday dinner to kind of get all the teams, knowing each other. And Stefan was there, and he introduced me to Grenache wine, which is a low tannin wine, which is one of my favorite wines. And he also, after the end of the meal, he introduced me to B&B, and it was warm. And you take off the napkin, and you bring the snifter up, and the fumes that hit you it's just whack. It's powerful. And it's a fun experience. It's a great drink. If you don't drink a little bit of water afterwards, it will dry you out.
Yeah. It depends really. Like you have some of those like cognacs, for example, and you have different glasses for example, for wines, you have different glasses for each type of wine, but also for example, for cognac, if you see the glasses that they have, they're very thin, so that your hand is actually warming up to drink, and those fumes come out. Like you have like I've seen people put like cognac on the like the water that's like very water that's very heated, and like it's warming up the actual glass. That's not the proper way to do it. It's like you have to the fumes have to come out at a certain temperature in order for it to be the proper. Like you said, it gets very dry. So it's interesting. Would you like to see one crazy drink that I've tried? The craziest looking drink that I've tried. Have you heard of
100%.
Monkey brains?
Yes.
I've heard of like, we had this guy in elementary school who would travel to different countries, and he said when he went to China or somewhere in Vietnamese, he ate monkey brains.
Oh my God, that looks so gross.
Yeah.
But I want to try
It's
it
delicious.
at the same time.
That's like curdled dairy.
It looks like
I
bread.
don't even know. I don't even know what's in it. But I haven't thought of this drink for a while. But it just made me think of it. Let me see what's in it.
Dude.
So
Irish
I guess it's slowly
Yeah.
drip Irish cream
With the lemon juice.
Interesting.
The acid in the lemon juice curdles the dairy.
No, I don't want to do that. But that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought it was some kind of fruit. So it's
is it
Irish
just
cream.
vodka, lemon, and Irish cream?
Yeah. Let's
Dude,
see first.
we're gonna have to do a podcast where we're all hanging out together, and
Yeah.
we all find 4 radical drinks, and we all
Yeah.
make it for one another, and we get to share it.
Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be so fun.
Yeah.
That'd
We
be
should go to
cool.
Brian's house so we can hang out with a nice couch.
Dude, I'd love that, man. Dude, when I first moved out of my family's house, I was 24, and I moved 17 hours away from Kansas City to Charlotte. And one of the first things I wanted to do was buy a couch, and for whatever dumb reason, I thought I could afford a Chesterton. And I started looking at them online, and they were like $5,000. So how did you ended up paying only two Franklins for yours?
There's a small tear in the leather on one of the seats, which Violet's been cramming crayons into, which is awesome.
Okay.
But other than that, it's in great condition. We found it on, I think, Facebook Marketplace.
That's amazing.
$200.
I'm so jealous.
Dude, the Chesterfield couch is what makes me want to maybe be a college professor at some point, because I feel like every college professor has one in their office.
Gotta have arm patches too.
100%.
Yes, yeah.
100%.
Or elbow patches.
Yeah, we got you. We understood you. You got to have a blazer. Do you think they have to have a beard?
Glasses.
Glasses? Yeah.
No, you need a beard. You need a cardigan of some kind.
True. Got to rock that cardigan.
Oh, they rock it so hard, and they,
Do you think the professors are good with the substitute professors and the EAs and whatnot?
I think they're fine. They're fine taking anything. Like if you're taking anything off their plate, they're okay. Yeah.
Classic euphemism. So, what else is going on that has caught you guys' attention in the news lately?
The UFOs. The Navy released
Yeah, man.
UFOs. The one that was released,
verified that
declassified
it was
article.
real footage. Yep.
All right, talk to us about it while I look it up.
I didn't actually watch it, but I watched clips of it from a couple of years ago that they released, and it's pretty amazing footage. But apparently they released the whole stream of it, several different videos, and then confirmed that it is, like, they verified that it's from them and that it's real. They don't know what it is.
It's
Well,
amazing, man.
Have you seen it, Matt?
I have, yeah. I heard a couple people say, like, oh, in the midst of this pandemic, this is what we should release, is a video of pretty much confirmed UFOs.
They've released a lot of things during this time as well. They've released that study from the University of Alaska about the 9/11 towers, which I thought was really fascinating. So
I have not heard of that.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about $2.3 trillion or?
No, that's something that the
Insurance payout.
chief accountant.
Oh,
We'll dive into that in a second. I don't want to go down that road right now, but I want to talk about what Brian brought up, because I'll be honest, and you guys will probably laugh at me. I don't believe in aliens. I think aliens.
What?
I don't, dude. I know that's weird because I believe in a lot of conspiracies, but I think aliens are literally just insects and animals. That's about as alien as you can get. And I think the technology that we see, and I could be wrong, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts, but I just think, dude, I think our technology, there's a reason we have a black budget scientific research portion of the U.S. budget, right? Here's the U.S. budget, here's a black budget, which trillions of dollars go to. We have no idea what it's being spent on, but it's going straight to military technology. I think we've been able to manipulate gravity for a lot longer than what most people know. And this technology, I just wonder if it's just like, superior military technology that they're testing out, and one of their own guys ended up seeing it. That's my thoughts.
When you say you don't believe in aliens, you don't believe aliens have come to Earth, or you don't believe in aliens, period?
I don't believe in aliens, period. So there's that whole paradox where it's like,
what is it, the Fermi Paradox or something?
Yeah,
like that?
Seth, you want to explain
the Fermian, yeah. So there's a couple theories about that are built into this paradox concerning why we have not come in contact with aliens.
Exactly.
One of them is there aren't any. There aren't any other intelligent life out in the cosmos. Another one is that there are, and there have been, but there is some type of invention or something like that every civilization comes to in their evolution that destroys them. What else? There's like 5 theories for why we have not come up with, why we haven't come in contact.
Here they are. Maybe this is it. I think there's just 5 bullet points. So it says Michael Hart formalized the basic points of the argument in a 1970 paper about the Fermi Paradox, which was named after Enrico Fermi, an Italian-American physicist. There are billions of stars in the Milky Way similar to the sun. With high probability, some of these stars have Earth-like planets, and if the Earth is typical, some may have developed intelligent life. Some of these civilizations may have developed interstellar travel, a step humans are investigating now. Even at the slow pace of current envisioned interstellar travel, the Milky Way galaxy could be completely traversed in a few million. I don't know if this is actually it, now that I'm reading it. That just seems like an argument to explain the Fermi Paradox. So, Darko, do you believe in aliens?
Not only do I believe in aliens, I also believe in infinite universes. I believe that there is a universe where us four are, where we are, where we exist, us four, and where Matt is drinking, Ben's wine, and Ben is drinking, I believe, it's completely possible if you think about it, especially if you take in consideration the how time works. Like if you take in consideration Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, like how time works in comparison to where you are. For example, Ben, if you took a watch when you were born, and someone put a watch that works perfectly on your hand, and your mother also put the watch on her arm, like technically, if those watches didn't work properly in 30 years, they wouldn't show the same time because
Yeah.
you are moving at a different speed. The higher you are, like if you're going to be probably at some point at a higher or lower altitude. The higher the altitude, the slower the time goes for you. So
Yep.
it's interesting, and it's proven, and that's how, like, you have a bunch of movies that the stuff is based on, like Interstellar, for example, and that's kind of one of the main reasons why I believe in multiverse, is because I feel like I feel like the universe is continually expanding, and we can't see it because it's expanding at a faster pace than the speed of light. So the speed of light is the fastest thing within the universe, but within the space, or however you want to call it, but the space itself, can do whatever it wants. So I don't know. I think that the universe is so vast that there's a high possibility that there is something else out there.
Yeah.
You know what?
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, you know what convinced me that aliens must exist was that Neil deGrasse Tyson show Cosmos.
Yeah.
Where like he basically like zooms into the Milky Way and he shows the
I love that scene.
Oh my God! Like the number of possibly habitable planets that are just in the Milky Way, and then they just keep zooming out to the known universe, and it is insane. It's basically like, it is uncountable. There are an uncountable amount of possibly habitable planets in just
Scale
the
is
known
arbitrary.
universe. Dude, it is, in my mind, it is inconceivable that there are not aliens, they have to exist. Now, whether or not they've made it to our planet, that's a question, that we can answer, or that that we can think about. But they have to exist.
Yeah. Good point. And I got three things. I want to talk about first the scale of the universe. We'll talk about that you brought up. We'll look at the video that I know everybody wants to watch. Darko brought up light speed, and I want to talk about how they measure it and how the speed of light has actually changed over time as our measurement techniques have changed over time.
You're not going to talk about that?
Yeah, I know, right? That's an
Science
interesting.
delusion.
Brian was like, that's what I want to talk about.
Do you remember who wrote The Science Delusion?
Say it again.
The Science Delusion?
Science Delusion, no.
Yeah, it's a book. Google it, but he's got a TED Talk that was awesome. I listened to his book as well.
Rupert Sheldrake. Yeah, I know the guy.
Yeah.
It was too expensive, so I didn't read it.
It was a book, so.
But you didn't ask me if I believe in aliens.
Well, what are your thoughts? I thought you said you did. That's why I skipped over.
Yeah, of course I believe in aliens. But I believe that the human race was previously and might be now interstellar space travelers. I think that the Earth isn't where humans evolved initially.
So you're one of the guys who thinks we were like on Venus and Mars and F that.
I think we're the aliens.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a fun combo. I heard that argument.
You would
recently.
like Scientology. Exactly.
It's kind of weird, man. When you look at some of the studies of, I know, what's the guy's name? I can't remember the main guy's name, but one of the guys is Robert Schoch, who.
Are you talking about the Egyptian?
Yeah, basically proved just how old the Sphinx is.
Yeah.
And when you
Through
look
the
at that,
erosion.
and then you look
Hancock
at
stuff?
yeah, and then
Remember
when you
Graham
look
Hancock?
at Graham Hancock, right?
Yeah.
And then when you look at Buzz Aldrin talking about, oh well, there's this monolith on some moon somewhere in the galaxy.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I could easily see that we are not the first iteration of these very advanced humans. I mean, very advanced for, you know, us right now. I don't know, man. I think it could very easily be true that we've already traversed the cosmos and we fucked our shit up and we settled on Earth.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of repeating the same thing.
Yeah. I heard on the Joe Rogan podcast, shout out to Joe, there was a recent guest on his podcast who was super articulate, but he actually, for the first time, he talked about that idea about how we came from Venus and Mars, basically destroyed the planet, jumped off of it, landed on Earth, rehabilitated that, and that explains. Like it's a fun idea until you start breaking it down bit by bit, and I think it starts falling apart. But his thing was like, well, if you go 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 generations back, of course those previous generations would have told the new generations, hey, we're from Mars and we're from Venus. And then once those generations died off, after more generations came, those younger generations would be like, they kind of forget. Where I'll see if I can find the explanation for it. I don't want to go too further though. Exactly, yeah. Well, let's watch this video real quick because we brought it up like an hour ago. I want to talk on it, or at least address it.
There's a whole fleet of them. My God.
Gotta show you the screen.
They're all going like
Oh, well, that would definitely help, wouldn't it?
No,
You
the
guys
sound
should
is
watch
okay.
this. You guys should definitely watch it. It's amazing.
We want to see your face.
You want to see a reaction to the video?
All right, here we go.
There's a whole fleet of them. My God. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. Oh, God. Woohoo! Well, I'll get this,
So is that water below?
Yeah, there was a guy on Joe Rogan podcast that was talking about the tic-tac shaped spacecraft that were
Can't remember that guy's name.
flying in and out of the water.
Bob Lazar, right? Was it?
No, it was after Bob Lazar.
This
It was
is what
the Air
what
Force
freaked
guy or the Navy guy.
this is what freaked people out. Was this maneuver?
There's like this thing. It's rotating.
Yeah, it looks like it rotated almost like it was perfectly perpendicular to the camera.
Yeah.
while it did that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
interesting.
it is interesting, and it
Do you
makes you
think-
wonder. What is your guys' analysis of it?
So I'll take the military aspect as an expert. That was 100% a United States aircraft, and we are the best.
And that's all I want to say.
I think the biggest question is involved in how fast it like that thing moved. You know, I'm around a lot of pilots. You know, the reactions of those pilots in the video are exactly what I would expect from any of our folks. And you know, I'm sure that there are things out there that we don't know about, you know, that are not common knowledge to the public, not common knowledge to even people in intelligence. But I don't know, man.
You know what?
It sure raises questions.
Have you guys heard of flying rods?
Flying rod.
Yeah.
That's my high school nickname.
Yeah.
Uh,
Were you a pole
I-
vaulter?
Flying rods are they're these things that are moving faster than the speed of light, and we can't see them. So there's a theory there are things that exist that we cannot see by can't see with the naked eye because they move too fast, and they're called flying rods.
And what do you know? Like what they're supposed to be besides?
We don't know. The only way people are, and Brian, you actually might know about this. People are like catching them with camera or something. But I don't
I've
know.
seen lots of videos of people with like the UV filters removed from their cameras and having a UV filter on their camera and pointing it up at the sky and catching like weird, seemingly crafts moving in weird directions and speeds. Seem to be real stuff, but you never know with these videos.
Yeah.
My thoughts on the video, like, we live in a world now where like you can't really trust anything. Like no information is completely trustworthy. That is some weird stuff there. So I feel like it's more useful to go in the direction of like, what do we do if the government comes out and be like, hey, we've been keeping this from you guys for a long time. Here's this like undeniable proof that aliens are here and we've been interacting for decades. We're coming out of the closet with it. Here's the info. Everything you'd ever want to prove or disprove, it's all here.
Do you think people would freak out, or do you think most people would be like, "We knew it already, thanks"?
Well, I kind of think that like releasing videos like this is kind of like dipping the toes in the water, kind of like taking like a sample of how society is going to react to it.
Yeah.
Some people are going to be like, well, it's all fake, it's not real, or be like, yeah, I mean, this just confirms everything I believed, or something in between.
Yeah.
What if
But
they
I
release
think
that
they're gauging, like, is this terrifying to people? Is this going to cause chaos? Is this causing unrest? Is this going to stop people from paying their taxes? I think that's what they're.
That's the big thing. Man. Yeah.
I don't know why that'd be a big thing though, right? The fact that they just pay trillions of dollars to people to stay at home is like, wait, why aren't you guys doing that all the time? like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be real. I've been slow to pay my bills this month. Let me just say that, like, I ain't gonna pay my bills until everybody gets back to work. I mean, I can, but we'll see. Rent's due tomorrow, or mortgages.
Hey,
So,
they're not putting your credit score on hold as far as I know. So.
I mean, you can't come down too far from 800, so I'm solid. But
Can you lose points that you never get back if you pay your bill late?
not paying your bill on time, according to Credit Karma, is like a low. It's a low weight to your overall score. So the big factor on your credit score is like how long your credit history is. I think it's one of the biggest. What your percentage of credit used versus your overall credit is. If you're using 90% of your credit consistently and not paying it off, then that's going to ruin your score. And then comes payment worthiness and a few other factors. But I'm pretty solid on credit. I'm not too worried about it. Let's rewind for a second and take a journey for Matt's sake to the scale of the universe, so we can all get a figure on that one too.
The scale of the known
Please do.
universe.
The known universe.
So here's a giant worm. Wow, I didn't know worms grew that long. Another high school
Me
name.
neither.
Human
That's a
dodo
scale.
bird. No, this is 10 to the 0, right? So if we go up,
You can slide in both directions. Awesome.
you got it. So if we go up, we start to see Hoover Dam, Eiffel Tower, Half Dome, Vatican City, which
I love this, man.
Yeah, I'll send you this link. We'll put it in the YouTube video for all you quarantiners watching. I don't know what Cruithne is. That must be, that's most definitely
Probably an
Trump's
asteroid.
hemorrhoid. Yeah, me too. Uluru, Mount Everest, Deimos, Halley's Comet. Oh, wow, dude. Check that out.
Dang.
That frickin' man-made island in Dubai.
Oh, shit.
It's crazy.
I didn't know it was that big.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's the size of Mount Everest. That can't be right. All right, zooming out. Rhode Island. Hey, way to show up on the map, Rhode Island. West Virginia, Rwanda, Grand Canyon. Wow, look at that. Grand Canyon. Oh, you can't see it. Right there. California, Italy. Oh, now we're getting into planets. Dude, that's kind of weird. That Italy, the length of Italy is very close to the size of Pluto.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
I would have never thought that. That makes me wonder. I mean, Pluto's out there, dude. Pluto's real far.
Yeah, we should send Italians over there.
The ones with the coronavirus. Yeah. Oh, look at this one. Io. Do you guys know Io? That sounds familiar. But it's like sprinkling.
So the only reason I know, so the names Io, Ganymede, and Callisto. I don't know if y'all have watched The Expanse on Amazon Prime.
No.
Holy shit, man, dude! All right, so it's a show about basically. It's only a couple hundred years in the future. If we colonize Mars, what would happen?
Whoa,
Dude,
the Minecraft world.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Matt. Let's pause.
It's okay.
The size of Neptune. Sorry, man.
There's Earth. There's Minecraft world. We had to say something. That's just a mind blower. All right, go ahead, Matt. We're listening.
Okay, so
I'll pause it so you can make your point.
A couple hundred years in the future, we colonize Mars, and then it's kind of it's a political thriller kind of thing with Mars, Earth, and then like the Belter people in play. Man, it is amazing.
What's it called again?
The Expanse.
The Expanse.
I would say season 2 going into season 3 will change your perception of what is.
Wow.
And
I
I wish I could remember the actress who plays the Belter lady. I can't think of her name, but man, like this actress is like the second in command of the Belter people. Her like fake accent and mannerisms and everything are so good. It's amazing.
Give us an example.
Oh, dude. So I can't give you an example of her acting because I would never do it justice. But I was
hoping you would. That was my. I was like, come on, Matt.
So I guess the spoiler alert thing in this show is basically there's a
No.
I'm not going to read it for you because Brian in particular, I think you would really like this if you haven't seen it.
Let me know when you're done. Give me a thumbs up when you're done.
But man, like there's something really important that happens on Venus. I'll say that.
Is that the actress that you're talking about?
No, it is not.
Get her then.
You know what? Let me push you guys on. Yeah, let me put you guys on hold for a second, and I'll find the actress's name that blew me away.
All right, do that, and we'll continue scaling out of the universe here. I think the rest of these are just going to be stars that none of us know.
Friends with a couple of them.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. The distance from Neptune to the sun. Now that's, you know what? That's an interesting thing. This is how big of a loser I am. I actually made the size, the actual scale of the solar system once. I don't know if I have it anywhere, but dude, because all those pictures you see.
There's a lot of space.
Yeah, dude, all the pictures you see in from science books and everything, it doesn't even give you a good idea. The distance from Voyager 1 to Earth, that's ridiculous. Oh, hold up. A light day? A day. Now that blows my mind.
Oh, that's cool.
The distance light has traveled in a single day, which I believe light travels at like 400,000 miles a second or something ridiculous.
So 365 times that is going to be a light year. Wow.
And then dude, don't even get me started, man. This is such a mind-blowing conversation, because once you start getting into that's just one light day. And scientists tell us that we can see light years. And not only just one light year, but like hundreds of light years away.
Billions.
And it's like do the math, man. It's like trillions of miles. So different topic. Distant. What is this? The Stingray Nebula. All right. Okay, the Pillars of Creation. Oh, we've all seen that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Alpha Centauri. Wow, this is beautiful, actually. Tarantula Nebula. All right, I'm going to speed this up because the fun part is what happens when.
Isn't this all still in the Milky Way?
Oh, I don't know. The distance Earth has traveled relative to the sun.
Yeah, so definitely still in the Milky Way.
Oh, all right. So that's the Fornax cluster, which is a funny word. Virgo cluster. Distance to the Great Attractor, another high school nickname. Pisces Cetus supercluster. Sloan Great Wall. Oh,
okay,
gigaparsec.
Maybe not in the Milky Way. I feel like this is not accurate.
Well, I'll send you the link, and you can.
It should be much bigger than this.
It's to scale. Like the sizes are to scale, but I think it's not organized like chronologically or linearly.
Because we're not talking about like super clusters of galaxies and things like that.
Yeah, it's just showing the sizes related to
super clusters right there.
Oh, okay. So I feel like
see if you actually like zoomed out.
It does it a disadvantage, I think, because it still looks kind of small. It's unimaginably big.
Dude, what's even crazier?
Neil deGrasse Tyson is off.
What's even crazier is the asshole who put this together. Like, how long did this take? All right, so now we're going. Now we just went away from everything. We're going to zoom in on all this stuff.
Go even further.
So we should technically get to the fractals, right?
Dude, fractals are over here.
Just keep going down, man. Just keep going down, or up. It doesn't matter.
Technically, there shouldn't be.
We will always be right in the arbitrary center.
A grain of salt, a grain of sand. Look at that. Look, 1 pixel. There you go. That's interesting. Ooh, a width of a human hair. Human egg, infrared wavelength, mist droplet, white cell nucleus.
Hashtag coronavirus.
Dude, I was just going to say that. There's coronavirus.
Shout out to the coronavirus, you know.
Ultraviolet light. Ooh. Oh, there's HIV. Shout out to Kevin. X-ray. Hydrogen atoms. We're going to get to quarks here pretty soon. Picometer.
Wow.
Uranium nucleus. Dude, this is doesn't even make sense anymore.
It's pretty small.
There's a quark. We just passed a quark. Neutrino. Top quark. And then
this is just
a Planck.
Quantum.
Okay. String theory. There you go, man. We'll post that link.
Yeah. So let me just pause for a second. So the actress in The Expanse, her name is Kara G, and her character is named Karina Drummer. She is
Drummer.
Dude, her acting is outrageous.
You want to watch her a bit here real quick? Can we show a little bit?
I would highly recommend checking out The Expanse if you have not already.
Highly recommended. Okay. You guys okay with just showing a small clip? I know Brian said he doesn't want to see anything.
And no spoilers, please.
I think you're probably safe.
By the way, this is.
Make sure you're.
This is your captain, and this is your ship. This is your.
Spoiling stuff.
Don't look, Brian.
What? That isn't fear. That's what.
Oh, she gave herself robot legs.
I always figured they'd have better lighting in the future.
They do not.
Ashford. Shall I meet them on the dock with guns?
We'll start with conversation.
You cannot destroy the ring.
Thank you for believing me.
I'm not here for you.
I'm not here for you, she says with brutal honesty.
So Brian, have you not seen The Expanse at all?
I watched one episode. I don't remember anything about it.
Okay. I am, first of all, super disappointed in you. I think out of anyone here, I feel like you would really, really appreciate what happens on Venus. And I feel like something like that might be in our future. I don't know. You'll have to check it out.
Okay. I plan to.
Why do you think Why do you think Brian would really gravitate towards it?
So there is there's an event that happens that cannot be explained, I guess, by regular science. I guess it's more of a spiritual type of event that occurs in the show that changes everything. And because Brian is very spiritually minded and is up for anything, I think he would appreciate that.
Not anything. Let's be real here.
He's up for anything. Let me tell you.
All right.
Have you gone camping with him?
Not yet. I'm afraid to now. Now that I know he's up for anything. Nerve-wracking. I'll be waking up and be like, it's a flashlight. Get the son of a...
Sure, a flashlight. Yep. No,
I'm just kidding. My wife and I were watching Ozark right now, and before we jumped onto the podcast, we just got to the part where the guy with the beard, spoiler alert, ends up kissing the CIA guy, and I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're like season 2 or something like that.
What's that?
You're season 2.
Yeah, season 2. You're way behind, dude. Like,
I haven't even looked at it at all.
Dude, I am so
Interesting
bored
that
right
you're
now
just
with this
assuming
stuff.
gay things.
What's that?
I said it's interesting that you're just assuming gay things.
Dude, my mind's in there. My mind's there right now because I wasn't expecting the bearded guy to be knocking on his door, and he shows up, and I was like, really? I didn't see that coming.
Dude, with this virus thing, I am so bored. I have watched literally everything.
That's awesome.
There's nothing that I haven't seen.
Have you seen? Dude, I bet there's some stuff you probably haven't seen.
Oh, please test me.
Darko,
see.
tell him, Darko.
No, dude, it's all you. I'm not going to.
What's that? As I was visiting the Vatican.
Yeah.
It was breathtaking. Okay,
It was art.
It was
art.
This is getting disgusting. But yeah.
It was beautiful and
So
super scatological.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, man. So, Matt and Brian and Kevin are all brothers. But yes, you're all so different personality-wise.
We are.
Yeah, and that's what I find so interesting because speaking to, like, if one day I wanted to geek out on military stuff, I know who I'd talk to. If I wanted to talk about fractals and religion, I know who I'd talk to. And if I wanted to talk about how a motherboard works in computers, I probably would go to